With less and less people tuning in to television as a natural form of entertainment, as we often say here on the show, desperate times call for desperate measures. But when they sort of rattle into millions of pounds, is it really money well spent? As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company. Now, as we often say here on the show, it's difficult, isn't it? We're all living in a cost of living crisis. We're all finding new ways to entertain ourselves, much of it free. I love YouTube simply because you can find films on there that you've not seen for years. You don't need to pay any streaming services, don't need to get your credit card out. You can simply enjoy them. And for many people I know, you can actually watch this on your own big screens. Not that technical yet, but do you know what I mean? I'd still love to do that though. But it's simple, isn't it? We are now in an age where we don't simply want to work or pay for anything that we don't, feel is value for money. Many years ago, over here in the United Kingdom, I was one of the very first people to sign up for a daily free newspaper and write a column. And a lot of my colleagues said, oh, free newspaper, how low can you go? But I could see the writing on the wall because as you saw all of these children getting, their school journeys and picking up the free newspaper, sometime for the very first time out of tube stations and, as I say, on buses, you could see they were never going to pay for a periodical, a newspaper ever again. It was free. And the bottom line is, then why would you spend 50 pence? Even when it's free, seemingly people don't want to pick those newspapers up now. So it's interesting to note, isn't it, that our friends over at the BBC have decided to spend over £7 million on brand new idents for all of their channels in the vain hope that this will apparently make us switch back. Now, when you consider that this is funded, as I say, by the public purse, the British licence fee payers, who are still receiving letters threatening to take them to court on a daily basis for not paying their licence fee, is this money well spent? Well, according to the, boss of the BBC, Tim Davie, he feels it's time for a refresh. People to, remember, reignite and look at exactly the brilliant services that the BBC offer. Quite how it's cost 7 million when you consider that there are many free graphic design elements over on the YouTube and of course on the internet remains to be seen. But he was adamant that this was money well spent. This naturally has received a backlash, but has it received an influx of people now tuning in? When you look at the ratings over Christmas, even if you count those downloads or whatever you want to call them, the red buttons and all that sort of stuff, seemingly not. He pointed out recently it could be in the next few years that the actual main channels close down and everything could be reverted to online. But then, would you still pay for that? Seemingly not. But as ever in the world of the BBC, what's 7 million? After all, it's only your money. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.